What's up, guys? It's Platinum. I'm just coming at you with the my end of 2021 review, and really some good things and bad things happened in 2021. I am so glad we're moving now into 2022, and hopefully it'll be a better year. I'll give you my New Year's resolution at the end of this video as well. Right. So, what can I say? 2021. We Some good things happened, some bad things happened. We were in lockdown for a while, then we came out of lockdown. COVID's still around, but we got jabs for it. And I've had both vaccines and the booster. Some negative things that happened. A positive thing that happened is we went back to football. I was able to go back to football as well. So, despite breaking my leg, in 2020, I was able to go back to football. And so far this season, we're up to we're up to January now, and we've got Christmas and New Year off. But so far, I'm on 12 goals this season, so I'm having a better season than I had the previous season in 2019. So, all in all, doing pretty good. And we actually all went back to football. I mean, the professionals went back as well. And England had an amazing Euros, setting new records everywhere. We had clean sheets all the way up to the semi-finals. And only two teams in the whole competition scored against us. We only conceded 2 goals. One was from Denmark. And that was a brilliant semi-final between England and Denmark. And the other was a goal line scramble from Italy. And obviously there was the positives were we got to the final. We were the runners up in the competition. And it's the first final we've got to since we won the World Cup in 1966, so it's good to see. The only other thing I can say is that the negative is we were robbed of that win. Now, I know a lot of people are going to ask me how, but the fact of the matter is, when someone goes round you and you reach aggressively, grab the back of their shirt and drag them to the floor, that is serious dangerous play, it's serious foul play, and it is a straight red card. And as far as I'm aware from seeing that, he got a yellow. Now, that's not a yellow card offence, that's a red card offence. Now, a lot of people will say to me, but he wasn't the last man, he wasn't last man. It's irrelevant that he was last man or not. The fact of the matter is, it was a serious foul play, it was serious dangerous play, and it was a deliberate foul from behind. So, whichever way you look at it, it's a straight red. Now, the thing that got me the most about the Euros was we saw the hypocrisy of the world. Because for 30 years, right? I've been alive 38 years. I've been watching England since 86, right? And for 30 years, every time the English national anthem has come on, other teams have booed. The fans have booed the English national anthem, right? The fans, when you say to people, oh, that's not on, all you get from them is, oh, it's gamesmanship, it's a bit of banter. Gamesmanship, banter, that's all you get. England fans said, right, okay, that's fine, we'll start doing it. So we started booing other teams' national anthems. Immediately, those same people who were like, oh, it's gamesmanship, it's banter, are like, oh, you can't boo the national anthem, it's racist, oh my God, I'm so fucking triggered. No, it's not. It's not racist. It's, like you said, banter, gamesmanship. And the thing that makes me, that's winds me up as well is, anyone who watched the last World Cup when England beat Colombia, and Colombia kicked off, and they were calling us white this and white that, and they were basically like, slagging off and basically making racial abuse at England players and the England fans. Now, nobody batted an eyelid at that, yet we got beat by Croatia in the semi-finals of 2008 of the World Cup in 2018. Now, there was a dodgy equaliser from Perisic where he had a high foot, which normally under the game, as I say, that is a straight red card and a foul, but it wasn't. Great winner, though, that they got, Croatia. It was actually a really, really well-worked winner. But moving on from that, we got beat and we went out. Now, in that moment, immediately, Colombia fans flooded the social media. They flooded social media. Colombian, German, even Scottish fans, right? All having to go to England. Now, I can understand why Scotland have a go at England, because that's like, I can understand why Scotland have a go at England. I mean, if you were, if my neighbour was always winning something and always coming home with trophies, or was always coming home after winning a game, or I couldn't win if I played myself, right? I'd be fuming, I'd be frustrated, I'd be sick of him, So I can understand why Scotland hate England, It's pure jealousy. I can understand that. I'd be the same, right? If it was the other way around and Scotland had won the World Cup, they were getting to the final, they were winning games, and England couldn't beat the likes of San Marino or Lithuania, or Moldova or something, really terrible teams, then I'd be fuming. I'd be jealous, So I can understand why Scotland have a problem with us. But Germany and Colombia immediately started tweeting and posting racial abuse at kids who were crying. Pictures of kids dressed up in England gear crying. And they were posting abuse. I mean, the Colombians were saying, ha ha, take that, you white slag, and things like that. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody batted an eyelid. Right? Now, an England fan posts a picture of a little German girl crying and saying, ha ha, take that, you Nazi scum. Or something along those lines, you Nazi slag or something like that. Now, bearing in mind, right, you've got Antifa who go around calling everybody who doesn't agree with everything they say a Nazi. You've got, people like that saying that, left, right, and centre, it's an okay phrase, like idiot, But as soon as that England fan, when the England fans all laughed at her for crying, now obviously I didn't laugh myself. I thought it was a bit cruel, but I didn't laugh at a little girl crying, but I also didn't feel sorry for her. Because I've been there myself. I know what it's like to be on a losing team. And it does get upsetting. So at the same time, I'm betting a few years ago the same the little girl's dad was probably laughing when England got knocked out. So but when England fans all laughed, right? People came on social media. Oh my God, that's racist. Oh my God, that's racist. You can't do that. It's like, where were you 3 years ago when our kids were getting called white slags and white scum because England got knocked out of the competition by the Colombians, and by the Germans, by the Scots? Where were you when our fans were being abused? Exactly, you're a fucking hypocrite, right? So then we get to this World Cup. These Euros, do apologise, Euros. And the most annoying thing is, every nation, the Scots are the only team the only fans that supported every team that England played. And you've got to give them credit for that kind of dedication. They are so full of hate and jealousy that they supported every team that England played until they got beaten in the final. And yet, the England fans are the ones in the wrong. Right? More importantly, let's look at another fact which is interesting. England fans got called racist for allegedly posting racial abuse at Saka, Rashford and Sancho. Now, yes, the abuse was found to be racist. It was posted, right? And it's disgusting, right? But let's look at another fact. 99% of those accounts that tweeted abuse were traced to outside of the UK. To places like Turkey, to places like Egypt, to places like the Middle East. And they were all fake accounts. So, how are the England fans responsible for racism that comes from the Middle East? Or that comes from Turkey? Or that comes from, Egypt? Or I think, mind you, I did find one from England. He was in he was in London somewhere. I can't remember his name, but I do remember tracing him, and I remember like posting like the only actual Englishman I found tweeting racial abuse. But here's the thing. Fans have been calling England racist, yet UEFA have dealt with no fewer than 17 incidents of racism where fans have chanted racial abuse or sent racial abuse to players since the last World Cup. 17 incidences of racism since the last World Cup. Right? One was from England. Right? One was from England. Right? And that was the one at the 2021, which was proven that most of the abuse came from overseas. But the fans that were in England were arrested and are banned. Right? And so they should be. Right? Secondly, right, 2 incidents came within months of each other from Hungary. 2 incidents came from Montenegro. And we're down to 12. Where did these 12 incidents of racism from fans abusing players come from? Your European champions, Italy. Right? Italy had 12 incidents of racism within the last 3 years. They have the most racist fans in Europe, yet nobody gives a shit. Right? Instead, they want to focus on blaming England fans or pulling down England fans, calling them racist. Yet, the facts show that the European champions, Italy, have the most racist fans in Europe. They actually got their own player to retire because they held up signs saying Italians are not black or something like that, which is just disgusting, But anyway, that's what I mean by the hypocrisy of fans. But it didn't end there, right? We had a brilliant Formula 1 season with Hamilton and Verstappen, and it gets right to the last race and they're level on points. Hamilton dominates the race. Verstappen is not even in. Verstappen's given up, right? He's done. Hamilton is 11 seconds ahead with 4 laps to go and there's an accident. Right? Now, here's where it gets interesting. This is why Lewis was robbed. right? The rules of the race state that for the safety, under a safety car, for the safety of other drivers, first of all, the track must be clear of obstructions before they then do any of the following, right? Now, after the track is cleared, they are allowed to let all lapped cars unlap themselves, and then they must do another lap behind the safety car so that those cars can go all the way around and take their place behind, behind the safety car again, right? Had these rules been followed correctly, the race would have finished under a safety car and Hamilton would have been world champion for the 8th time, right? But Massey decided he's going to change that rule and only let 5 cars through, right? Now, you have 2 options. You either let all the cars through or none of them through, right? Had he let none of them through, Verstappen would have been stuck behind 5 cars and no chance of catching Hamilton, right? So he let 5 cars through to put Verstappen right up behind Hamilton, right? Secondly, after you've let those cars unlap themselves, you have to then do another lap with a safety car, which he didn't do. Massey went, right, I've let the cars through, safety car in now so we can have one last lap. And Verstappen's right up on Hamilton with fresh tyres, right? He basically said to Verstappen, there you go, mate, go out and win the race. And there's your world title for you, right? Now, here's where things get interesting. Yes, right? Massey handed the title to Verstappen, right? But it's the fans that prove their hypocrisy, because all the Verstappen fans do is go, when people complain about it, now it might not be it might be a Hamilton fan, a Vettel fan, a Russell fan, a Lando Norris fan, a Ricciardo fan. It could be any fan. They've complained saying, hang on, that's not right. All the Verstappen fans did would say, cry, 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 cry. Right? Now, they do that because they've got no arguments. They know that Lewis was robbed. They know the rules were changed to cheat Lewis out of the title, right? And the reason they do that is because they've got no comeback argument, right? Now, I've even said to them, flip the role, flip the drivers and say, right, it was Verstappen who led the whole race and they did that for Hamilton to win, right? Every Verstappen fan would be crying their eyes out and screaming for Massey's head, right? But when you say that, they're all like, oh no, we'd be saying, well done, Lewis, what a good race, you deserve it. No, you fucking wouldn't, you lying bastards. You know as well as I do, you'd be crying your eyes out and screaming for Massey's head. You were crying your eyes out 4 laps earlier when Hamilton was 11 seconds ahead and Verstappen had no chance of catching him. I've seen the videos. So we had that hypocrisy, right? Now, we also had the whole drama with the vaccines. Now, vaccine-wise, you've got doctors, experts, scientists, everyone coming forward and saying, look, this is the best thing to help protect you against COVID, right? Now, that's fine. Doctors are telling me it's the best thing for me. NHS staff are telling me, So I decided, I'd get my jabs, which I did, right? But then you get some people that were like, oh no, I'm not getting it because it's a global conspiracy. It's just trying to get you under control. And you're like, what are you on about? And you're like, well, my mate Phil, who cleans the toilets at McDonald's, right? He says not to get the vaccine. Oh, right, so he's got a medical degree in this. No, he failed chemistry at school. All right, but he's got a PhD in medicine. Oh no, he doesn't even know how to put a plaster on. Right, so, but he at least knows about medicine, science. No. He doesn't even know what makes up, he doesn't know, he doesn't know what sodium chloride is. He doesn't even know what H2O is. Right, but you're taking his advice. Well, yeah, but he cleans the toilets at McDonald's. Okay, mate. Yeah, whatever. So, that's it. You've got idiocy and you've got hypocrisy, right? Hopefully this year will be a lot different. A couple of good points to end this on. Borough having a fantastic end to 2021. And looking forward to a great start in 2022. And to finish the video, I'll give you my New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolution is to stop giving in. Stop giving in to people. Because I'll be saying to people, like, people ask me for a favour or to take them somewhere, and I'll say, no, I can't do it because I'm busy. I'm in the middle of doing this. And they'll then even say, oh, yeah, what are you doing after that? Or, oh, well, can't you do it after that? Or, well, yeah, but sob story. And I'll give in and take them. My New Year's resolution is to give in a lot less. Is to basically stick to my guns and be firm with people that when I say no, it means no. You know, not pester me until I say yes. Not give me your fucking sob story because I don't give a shit. You know, the fact of the matter is, right, I've got my own problems to deal with. I've got my own issues to deal with. You know, I can't be dropping everything I'm doing to run around after you. You know, so my New Year's resolution is to stop dropping everything and running around after people just because they give me a sob story. So, that's my New Year's resolution and my review of 2021. Let's hope 2022 is a lot better. And up the borough.